You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Just embarrassing. Jake Tapper roasted on Mass over pathetic Trump interview, based on an article by Alexander Willis. Trump didn't need a shout. CNN handed him the room. The power was in the chair. The source is about a televised phone interview in which Donald Trump refused to answer questions, steered the conversation anyway, and faced little pushback from Jake Tapper. That is the basic event. The political fact is sharper. The president was the one with leverage, and CNN behaved like it knew it. Tapper is not the main character. A weak interview hosted is not the central scandal. Tapper's performance matters because it revealed how easily a major network can surrender its own authority. That the real decision-maker in the room was Trump. He set the terms, declined accountability, and still got treated as a guest worth thanking for calling in. That is institutional submission dressed up as access journalism. The real story is ownership pressure. Trump's remark about CNN going on a normal path, paired with the source's note about David Ellison's impending takeover, points to a much uglier structure, media coverage bending under ownership anxiety and political intimidation. Analysts suspect the takeover could push CNN in a more favorable direction for the Trump administration. Whether that happens is not yet confirmed. What is confirmed is that the possibility itself is already shaping behavior. This is how capture looks. The source's critics are right to read the exchange as more than embarrassment. The problem is not just a president who bullies reporters. It is a media system that keeps rewarding the bullying with airtime, deference, and institutional self-protection. But Jihad Ali's comparison to Bari Weiss is not random name-calling. It is a warning about what happens when media executives treat political pressure as a business model and ideological pliancy as normal. Blame the actor with the power. The oracle's framing risks drifting toward the easiest target, Tapper's weakness. That is not enough. Trump is the one exploiting state power, network vulnerability, and the incentives of ownership change. CNN is the institution that accepted the terms of the encounter. The harm is deliberate, not accidental. The confusion is mostly in the newsroom's refusal to name it. The pattern. This is not an isolated bad interview. It is the recurring logic of democratic erosion in media reform. Powerful actors test the limits, institutions accommodate, and the public is told to mistake capitulation for professionalism. When a president can openly signal that private ownership changes may align coverage to his benefit, the problem is no longer one host's spy. It is the system that keeps mistaking access for independence and normalization for control. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Roar Story for today's article. With the automated voice of Rizat, thanks for listening.